Welcome back to Imagination Station Network, and today we are joined by yet another guest. I need to come up with some sort of wee lingo for that, you know, I need to give myself a wee, I'm constantly saying the same thing, but we've got JP here. I'll let JP introduce himself.
JP, American Smokehouse, food trader.
Yeah. This guy's got a cool, calm, collective attitude. I like it. We've spoke for a wee bit down the stairs, but before we start, how are we doing today?
Pretty good overall. Let's say I'm all right.
Good, man.
Yourself?
Aye, I'm good, man. I'm grand. I just think the world, it doesn't ask people how they're doing very often. They just go straight in for what they need. And for me, doing what I do, I don't know, I quite like it when people ask how we're doing, because it's a natural thing that feels unnatural these days, if that makes sense.
I think a lot of people forget to ask. I do my best to ask everybody the best I can. The best I can, I try to ask everybody, how's your day going?
Especially in your business, man.
I think it should be in any business, though.
Yeah.
That's just a polite way to be.
That is.
And ask somebody, and use their name. Use a person's name. Ask them what their name is and try to use their name. I'm horrible at remembering names, but I love to use people's names.
It's just it's the human feel, man. We forgot how to human. But thanks for coming as well. You know, it's I've been trying to get you for a while. Not just to have a chat with. We have chatted. Like, on the past, I think we chatted for 5-10 minutes when, I don't think it was this year. Maybe I've been last year at Duns when they done the car. They do
the rally race?
Aye, Jim Walker. Is it Jim Walker?
Jim Clark.
Jim Clark. And I was coming, but the queue was massive. So, aye. Because you're a popular guy. If I'll go straight in. Normally we don't plug quick, man, but go to JP American Smokehouse on all the socials, man, and you'll see what I mean. People... I can see why people come and talk to you. You've got a likeable persona, but you've got an aura about you that is a nice feeling, man.
Thanks.
It's nice. Even just sitting talking and chatting down the stairs is the thing. And I've yet to be proved wrong that the people who are on this show are the right people. So I'm glad. I was like, Jan, he said yes, let's get him in. Get him in quick, get him emailed. And then we had a wee chat, man, and it was good. As somebody who's ADHD and autistic, I always say that every day because it's no changing for me.
No, I tell everybody, it seems like I don't mean to. My wife says I overshare.
Yeah.
I think sometimes when you have ADHD, for example, and you're maybe on the spectrum, I think you tell people because you feel like you have to justify how you are. And we shouldn't have to justify who we are. But like, I'm scatterbrained, and I know I'm scatterbrained, and that's okay, though.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way of putting it, actually.
That's how I operate, man.
Because I always say I'm protecting myself.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, because I could be sitting there and somebody will just go, I could just see them with the invisible seatbelt clip, and this is me. I'm just like, I lift my head up for a wee breath of fresh air, and I'm like, oh, you're still talking, James, what you doing?
And I'm the same way. I have to excuse people sometimes politely. They come up to get a burger, and I start chatting away, and then I realize, oh, they need to leave.
Yeah.
You know, they're on their lunch, and I'll say, hey, get out of here. Sorry, I'll talk all day, because I will literally talk to somebody all day.
But you're one of the people. I meet people all the time, but see when you have that commonality with somebody that before we even started to speak, we smiled. You know, I don't smile all the time as much. When you find somebody with the same aura, it's like it feels good, it feels right. I can't explain that. The hidden energy in the world when two guys come together, sit and shoot the breeze. So obviously your accent. I don't come for these parts by the sounds of it, but obviously you come from much further away. How did that transpire? Because the idea is obviously it's a creative journey, and that's clearly a part of it. How did this happen?
Well, my wife is from the border. She's from Pakistan.
Oh, cool.
And she was in uni up in Edinburgh and did an internship in the United States, in Michigan, where I'm from. And we started dating, and we ended up moving on to Colorado for a while together. And then we ended up getting married in Vegas and moving to England. And then we moved back to the States. And then we moved back here when our son was young, maybe just over 4 years ago. And when we were here, I didn't want to do the type of work I had been doing. So I was running ideas past my wife. And then I said, what about a barbecue business? and she got excited, and she rarely gets fired up for something that I've got an idea on.
Right.
So I took that as, this is what I should probably try doing then, because she actually got really, she was definitely like, yeah, you should try that, you should do that. So we took the money that we had and invested it, and bought a used van and had the smoker made, which I drew on a piece of cardboard. On Christmas Eve, we were wrapping gifts, and I used the back of a box, and I started doodling, and I drafted out what I wanted, and I took it to a gentleman named Craig Nisbet at Fab Vent over Spittle or Tweedmouth.
All right.
And Craig, he saw what I had drawn, and he saw the van I was driving, and I was used to driving trucks in America with big giant V8s in them, and he said, "You gonna haul it with that van?" And I said, "Yeah." Because you have to make it a little bit smaller, because I had it designed to be bigger than what it is.
Right.
So I'm glad he did that, because it's too big as it is. I think it's big enough. It's big enough, but we designed it, and we kind of both just went at it together. It was the first time for him to do something like that, and I designed it myself. So
brilliant.
it's just I wanted to cook with real fire. That was the ticket.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to cook. I didn't want to just cook with people turn the gas on, and start cooking on a fryer, and I don't want that. I wanted to cook like over an open fire. So how could I do that? And we built basically a firebox and called it a smoker. It's not really your traditional smoker, because they're usually offset. People cook with like what they call clean smoke, and I'm cooking with dirty smoke, which that throws some people off, because I use just coal and birch wood,
right.
and the fire's right inside the box, so there's a real fire going, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to cook with real fire. That was my idea.
I'm smiling because everybody knows, man, when it comes to food, man, that's my thing. It's like, but it's something different, and I've seen, like, I'm a watcher. This sounds creepy, doesn't it? But I used to go somewhere on a Friday, and I think that was when the rally was on, and I'd seen people, like you've said, what time you set up, but people just attracted. Not only, I mean, I could smell it for the meeting I was in, and that was every time I was there.
It's that box. People see that and see the smoke roll out. I get many, 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 many people just want to come up and ask, and it makes me happy that they ask. I don't care if they buy the food or not. It's cool if they do, but they come up and say, "What is this? What are you doing?" And I love to show it to them. It's fun. And it's just a big steel, dirty box, and people love it. You know what I mean? It cracks me up. It makes me laugh.
But it reminds me, like, that's how we would have ate back in the day. Do you know what I mean? There was no gas central heating and all these other things, man. We were in about it.
And I guess that's where I'm at. Like, my brother, I have two younger brothers, and the middle brother, he and I, we always just take jabs at each other, because he cooks with propane, he grills with propane, and I like charcoal. So it's always been the joke with us, about what's better. I tell him he's not really a barbecuer because he's using the propane. So it's just jokes, but he's a great cook too. I think we were lucky when we were young. Our parents promoted us learning how to cook at a young age. I can remember my youngest brother at 5 years old standing on a footstool and cooking in the kitchen. Like, I can remember seeing those visions in my brain. We were young and we learned how to do that stuff, and by them letting us be creative, they didn't push stuff at us. My youngest brother used to just pile stuff in a pan and mix it up and say, "I'm making cakes" or something, right? And I cannot tell you how many times it came out, and he just mixed random stuff together, and it was amazing.
Brilliant.
And that's kind of where I'm at.
I love a random pillage.
Aye.
See, when folks say there's nothing, like my son would say when he was younger, there's nothing for it, and I was like, right, that's it. Get up, man, and you're in about everything. I very rarely do I cook, but I do appreciate good ingredients going into things, man. That's my thing. If you've seen any of my reviews, there's stuff I don't put on because I genuinely didn't like it, and I'm not there to ruin folks' business. It's not for my taste.
Aye.
That's it. It's like, I like food, but I'm not there to go, "Oh no, your stuff was rubbish." But we'd like to come and do a wee review on I'm going to nail it down now, because it's been years since I've actually sought you out, man. We're coming to get, I'm going to bring, hopefully all the team can come if you're watching us back, guys. If you can round yourselves up, we'll come and get you. Which brings me on to my next question, is I seen that you are going through a wee bit of hang with Duns. What's that all about? What's happening at Duns? What's not happening?
I think it was. I've been in Duns for about just over 3 years, and I think it really came down to just confusion, lost in translation kind of a thing. I don't think the council understood exactly what I was going to do, and I don't think maybe I understood what I was really allowed to do and not allowed to do. So what it comes down to is basically they've allowed me to set in a council-run parking lot to where I should not have been. Right. So it's nothing on. This is the thing. I'm not mad at the council. I think some people are mad at the council. I mean, I'm bummed out that I had to move because I've made a lot of friends there, and I've had a lot of fun down there. But I think it came down to confusion on both ends. Miscommunication, maybe not enough communication. I'm not sure, but we're sorting it out, and we were trying to find another location in Duns. But possibly the way it's looking, I might have to look further abroad. You know.
Hang out, man. Your stuff, like I've watched. I don't go too far in when I have guests on the show because I just think it's natural to sitting here talking to people. But you have good people, good comments on there, like wholesome. Do you know?
Yeah.
That's nice to see because we get bad press for some of the stuff we do, and we're not doing anything. It's like. Then everybody, like you said, everybody's entitled to their opinion. You know, it's not, but there's good people in there, good comments, wholesome comments. You know, that's like, that's the real reason why social media was set up, man. Let's be honest here. It's like the wholesome people putting good stuff out there because you're a great guy and you serve great food. It's no, let me tell you, it's not just the burgers people are coming for, man.
No.
Listening and sitting talking to you for a wee bit is like. And I can't believe I've no came by now, but it's meant to happen when it's meant to happen. But because you've got a good ethos, man, and thinking, any man could have sat there and went, oh, you know, and it's like I'm gone away for there and whatever. And whereas no, you're like nobody's at fault.
No, I don't. Nobody's really at fault. Is how I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I was breaking the rules unknowingly, I guess. I probably
naively.
I guess that's a good way to put it. And maybe they just didn't understand exactly what I was doing. When I remember when I started the business. I called the council to see what I needed to do because I'd never owned a business in the UK before. You know, I'd owned businesses in America. And it's totally different. But they didn't have a way to put me in the system because I said I explained to them what I was doing. So I remember them saying, well, I guess we could plug you in as a hog roaster because there was nothing in their system for what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So understandably, it was just, I think, just miscommunication. I'm not upset about any of this. I'm looking at it as I'm sad because I've made so many friends there and I feel at home there, and I haven't felt at home in many years. And being in Duns, I feel at home there. I feel like I've made lots of friends there, lots of connections. But that's not going to go away. But
nah.
I like being there. I enjoy being there. I have a good time with it. I have fun with it. And I think a lot of people like the sense that I'm not going to make... Not everything's a winner on the grill. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I tell people, I'm trying today. This is something new. So let me know what you think. And I tell them I don't want just the good. I want to know the bad.
New stuff. So you tell that to me.
I want to know the bad. I want them to say, oh, no, that's horrible. I want to hear that. Okay, thanks. Mm-hmm. You know, I've had some horrible stuff come off that cooker. Because people are polite. This is the sad thing. Hey, everybody, listen. Don't be polite. Don't be polite. Please don't be polite. I've tasted food at the end of the day, and sometimes the smoke, in the morning when I taste it, it tastes great. By the end of the afternoon, it tastes horrible. It's not right. So some people are just very polite. You know what I'm saying? And that's human nature. Yeah. They don't want to tell you something bad. I want to know. Yeah. I want to know the bad. I want to know so I can correct stuff. You know, I didn't do burgers for years, and I was told I should be, and I was like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna do chicken and sausages and stuff. When I started doing my sandwiches, that was a game changer for me.
Did you do sandwiches as well?
I've got a couple of sandwiches I do on specials. I don't do them all the time. There's specials, but yeah, when I started doing that kind of stuff, that was a game changer. And everybody started coming. Everybody wanted to keep trying it. So then I upped it a little bit and started doing like random stuff. I've tried doing wraps, you know, and people love that. And it just, some of the stuff just blew my mind. It was snack food to me that I would make for myself at home, you know.
The most simplest things.
The most simplest things.
That's the thing with us, man. We are, the world's a complicated world for simple people sometimes, isn't it? Or the opposite of that.
I don't think it needs to be complicated. I think we overcomplicate it.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
It's just one of the things, isn't it? Sometimes when I very rarely take my wee mind away from the world and sit back, I go, man, you know, that happened. That really happened. You know, the simplest things, and then all these creations with it. But I like that when you said about writing on the cardboard, because this all exists because I wrote in a diary in 2020 and I forgot all about it. So say when it came to this building, and I got so excited, I was like, Jan, you need to come out and see this. I said, you know what, I actually, because I poo-pooed this building, I was like, nah, it's not big enough, it's no this, it's that. And then when I opened up that diary, would you believe it, that my scribbles actually showed this exact building, every room that's in it, every studio, who's in it, more so. So there's a plan there, do you know what I mean? I was like,
sometimes you don't realize the plan is there until it presents
comes.
itself. It presents itself. That's like we were saying, the situation in Dunn's. I want to stay in Dunn's, but I also don't want to be stuck in the back of a street somewhere where nobody can see me. So things present themselves at the right time when it's needed. And life just happens for us, man.
Life on life's terms, man. That's what it is. There's no instruction manual. We weren't born with instruction manuals, and I guess like even this with the creative journeys for people. And I always say this to the guys, I was like, you know, you've not heard your story yet, you will, because there's a lot of us that are the same. And I think when we were talking down the stairs, it's like somebody gifted me something right, and at the time I didn't like it, but they say, you know, what you're doing's no new. And I was like, how dare you? How very dare you? But they're right. It's just delivered different. It's the same. And once I got over that hurdle of, you know, that's right. That is exactly bang on. Then the growth that happened was phenomenal. And that's what you're doing. Like, that's not meant to happen for you. I don't like the saying, as an ex-car salesman and caravan salesman, folks say, what's for me, I'll not go buy me. You know,
I've heard that here.
But I get it now. I'm at that age where you're right. You're absolutely right. If it is meant to be for you, it will come back round, or it will be that time. So
if you force it, it tends not to work as well. If you really force something, it tends not to work well because you're forcing it. And
you are the driving force of the business, so you know yourself. The didactics of that is, if you have a product that's good enough, people will travel.
People travel. People, man. I think last year, several people thought I was just talking shit, you know? So I had to put up a couple of videos every single day, just about when I'm open. I get people that drive from anywhere from like Hexham and Darlington and Durham and Newcastle, or Paisley and Glasgow and Stirling and Edinburgh. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
And in my brain, I think, man, I don't know if I would
That's brilliant, man.
I don't know if I would drive an hour and a half for my food. That's how I think about it, because I eat it all the time, though. Do you know what I'm saying to me? It's just, I'm just eating it.
That's good. Like, you just rhymed off two places. Like, I worked in Paisley in the bank, and I was in Hexham yesterday.
Aye, were you?
That's mental, man.
So you know how far that is, man. And
it's like an hour and a half, right?
That's very extremely, when it started happening, and it still is, very, very humbling.
Yeah.
It is extremely humbling when people come and meet you. Like you're saying, they come and meet me, and we talk for a little while, and then I realize, wow, they just drove, ask them where they're from. Oh, and I'm from wherever, you know, I'm from Edinburgh. And I'll say, oh, what are you doing down here today? Thinking they're coming down for something in the area. They've got plans. Like, oh, we drove down to see you. And I'm like, and I'm like, what? It blows my mind.
See, when you hear it though, like you have a great accent. See, when you hear JP's American Smokehouse and you hear you behind it, I can see why people. I've yet to try the food, so I can't comment yet, man. But you can see where that whole, like I say, man, earlier in the interview there, you have this aura run about you that I can see why people travel for it. And if you haven't travelled and tried it yet, we'll put up where you're going to be and things that you're doing, man. It's nice. I think it's somebody, I've never had somebody who's your creative journey. I've never had somebody who's a barbecue. I've never heard somebody call themselves a professional barbecue. That enlightens me. It's great.
I don't call myself a professional barbecuer, man. That's
Aye.
the thing.
Aye.
Like, somebody one day, I was at an event in the middle of a field, and somebody was joking around and said, "Well, you're the chef." And I said, "I am no chef." And I said, "Well, you are today." And I said, "I'm not. You know, I'm a guy. I look at myself as I was a blue collar guy, and I worked, and I was a salesman for a while, and I never thought about being in this industry and creating food for other people to eat rather than people just at my own home."
Yeah.
You know? So,
But it's an art. I've watched some of your videos a day. It's like there's an art to that. Like as an artist and as a creative, it's you can see what goes into it. You know, people just I get there's a lot of people who like slap it off the barbecue. And us in the UK we use the gas barbecue, so we just put that. But see when you see the setup, you'll see what I mean. Go over and see it, man. The setup's just immense, and then you see how it's the pictures. And I mean, I was looking small. I'm like, I'm a big eater. Like, I'm hungry again. But when you see, I like the presentation. It is a smokehouse. It is a burger. It is a bit of chicken that you would expect if you went to a restaurant and it was sitting there. That's what I like. That's what I like. I don't know what everybody else is like, and that's why I imagine that it works so well.
I think people are shocked sometimes. They don't. This sounds arrogant, and I don't want to sound arrogant at all. They don't expect it to taste as good as it's going to taste, I think. And I have a bad cook sometimes. I'm cooking with fire. I'm sorry if anybody showed up and you get a bad burger sometimes, or you get a bad bit of chicken or anything like that. I mean, it happens. But overall, I think people get very surprised when they eat it. I love watching expressions. I need to set myself up like a camera, like a GoPro or something.
I was just about to say
because
that.
I'll tell you what, man, sometimes the reactions that I get from first time people, it gives me goosebumps. The hairs on my arm standing up right now.
Yeah.
Because the reactions are just amazing. And
But
it's humbling again though, like I said, it's humbling.
I think about it, that might be the only interaction they get for good food that day, that week, that month.
You
And
know?
it's true though, man, because if you're cooking this stuff in the house, that's why people will travel for it.
Aye.
People are travelling for a burger. I mean, they'll travel anywhere to go to McDonald's.
Aye.
But when you're coming to somewhere like that and you know what you're getting, you know the person that's cooking it, you got the personal touch. It's 50% the food and the 50% is because you're there.
Aye.
You're the person behind that, and it's the experience. That's what I was trying to say. It's the experience of getting there and getting treated properly by somebody who's cooked it, and like you say, you wouldn't eat something that you wouldn't like yourself.
Aye.
That's it. That's the delivery, isn't it?
Aye.
Do you do hiring? If somebody was to hire you, would you?
Oh yeah, I do weddings and
Oh,
private
brilliant.
birthday parties, graduation parties, all that kind of stuff. I've been to a few of the castles now and
Nice.
grounds. Like last year, there was I don't want to mess the name up, but it was one of the professional dog sledding clubs in Scotland, and they were doing something down at Ford and Edel Estate, and Ford and Edel Estate gave them my information.
Oh, cool, man.
And they got a hold of me because their regular food vendor wasn't able to show up, so I just filled in, and I was happy to fill in, but it was a whole weekend, and I didn't realize the guy in charge was a Michelin star chef.
Wow.
I had no idea, and they had me come down, set up in the middle of a field with all these dogs, hundreds of dogs barking, and he tried some of the food at the beginning, and I didn't know he was a chef. I had no idea, no clue.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Man, that's some of the best burgers I've ever had." And I was
Wow.
like, "Wow, thank you." You know, I was just being humble. Thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he told some of the other attendees, and they came up and said, "You know, he's a chef, right?" And then somebody else said, "Yeah, he's a Michelin chef." And I was like, "What?"
Wow.
So I had no idea, but that was one of the gigs just by chance I did in the middle of a field for a dog sledding outfit, and that's how my name gets pushed further and further out. You know, what
But
I
you know,
mean?
it's not by chance, man. We spoke about that earlier.
Aye.
It's not by chance. It's because of what you do, man. And that's what we're trying to tell, like creatives, is the journey is. It's as long as it needs to be and as short as it needs to be. But if you stay the course, man, the goodies will come.
Aye.
People will always come. What is it they say in that film? If you build it, they will come. Field of Dreams, man.
I've had many people say that to me.
Yes, man.
Miss Helen Tate, if you see this, you've said that to me a couple times.
Yeah.
If you build it, they will come.
They will, though, man. It's like,
Right.
and if the foundations are set out solid, unshakable.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? That's the whole point.
You know, the first couple years I did this, it was a real sketchy thing. I didn't know what I was doing yet. I didn't understand how to make it work yet. I just kind of winged it and went in. And it was a real stress on our family because I wasn't making any financial gains for like 2 years. But I grinded. I sat out there and I grinded and grinded and grinded because I saw that vision in my brain. I saw the vision of what I knew I could make this become. And it's still not it's not at the end of that journey by any means. But I knew where I wanted it to go, and it started just happening last year. And I think the big change was I stopped forcing things like we were talking about earlier. I stopped pushing, and I let back, and I said, what will be, will be. And I just let it happen, and it just started happening with no pressure. Me not pressuring it. Pressure from home financially and whatnot, but it just started happening. I
think, like I always say to some of the youngsters that we work with, is like to achieve, you must first believe.
Yeah.
And that's what you've got, man, and the believe, and it will come, man.
You have to believe it.
Yeah.
If you're going to do anything, if you're not working for somebody else for a paycheck, if you're going to go out and try to do anything for yourself, if you don't believe in it, it won't happen.
Your own house must be in order, and that's what they say as well.
No.
It will always happen if your own house is in order.
Our house is in chaos all the time.
Your house, your mindset, like converting it into like a business.
Sometimes I feel like I've got it together in my brain, and then other times I'm like, what are you doing? So I can't say I'm in order yet. I'm still organizing. I'm still organizing the house.
To somebody that wants his life in chaos, man. Look at my desk.
Yeah, I'm no different, brother. I promise you. I live in chaos, but out of the chaos comes order.
100%.
And that's how I really think about it. Out of the chaos comes order.
Of course, man. And then in amongst that, some is like we were saying earlier, down the style, we work it right up to the last bit, and then we're like, shoo, let's go.
I gotta have pressure.
Yeah.
I have to have pressure. The joke is because I cook with coal. This is a big joke. I'm a diamond in the making. Right. You know, I have to have pressure.
Yeah.
I have to have pressure to make things right ever. That's just how I am.
What's your best seller? I'm in my mind. You know, my ADHD brain's like, what's his best seller? What would you recommend to me if I was in front of you right now?
My top 3 best sellers that I've kind of narrowed it down over the last couple years. The burgers are number one. The burgers are number one seller, and it's a close tie with a smoky bourbon sausage, which they're not in stock right now. I'm working on getting a vendor, and then chicken thighs.
The
chicken thighs. I've narrowed that down though. You know, you get a couple years of you hear stuff and you start paying attention, and then you start realizing what sells. But the burgers are probably my number one seller. I would say
everybody likes a burger, don't they? And just it's funny when you say that. When I stayed in Ayrshire, I travelled for a burger.
Aye.
On a Sunday, I travelled for a burger, and one was never enough.
Aye.
It was like I travelled at least 40 minutes to get a burger, because it's the experience. Aye. It's the journey. You know, I'm thinking about it. Am I going to get tomato sauce on it? Am I going to get brown sauce on it? Am I going to have onions? Are they going to have any left? You know, it's like, and I used to think that was like the perpetual of ADHD in motion, which it kind of is. But I'm salivating by getting myself there, and then when I get there and I'm not disappointed, I drive home 45 minutes happy. So I get it, man. The experience.
That's the big thing. I want people to be happy.
Like,
I want people to be happy.
And it's like again, when you came in here and we sat and I asked you, like I can convert it into the same journey. I want, like when I sent you a message and I said I wanted it to be it's an experience when you come, and that's what we get, the commonality, and that's what we're trying to show you guys. For like creatives have that commonality of when you get here and you come in, and as soon as you meet somebody and you get a cup of tea, and how was our tea actually?
Very good.
Like that, and then
very good.
And then you come up and you see the spaces, and it's an experience. It's no different for the burger.
Aye.
It's no different from the burger, man. And you know yourself. I'm glad that you said that. That, you know, if you have a good enough product and you yourself are part of that product, people will travel.
Aye. It's still, it shocks me, man. It's like, even hearing you say that, it still shocks me that people will travel. Sometimes I have queues of people, and it's overwhelming, like humbling, but overwhelming with humbleness, because it's nothing I ever would have expected, honestly. It's been a big journey.
But I think it's like, when the journey stems for the idea for you, it's like it was an idea at Christmas and wrote on the back of a wrapper.
Aye.
That's a story, man.
Aye.
That's the reason why you're sitting there, because that's a story that needs told to people.
Aye.
Through something, great beginnings happen, do you know what I mean? But also with hard work. It's like, not once have you mentioned there that it's no hard work. But people, I think, in this day and age, we're too relying. I try and stay out the AI arguments, because it serves people who are neurodivergent. They use it for things. Again, nearly getting into it there. I don't get involved in it. But the human touch and the things that we do is like, your business is a human touched business. So the energy for you cooking your burger, going to the person, it's like that's what's missing in the world sometimes, is by that energy that we create.
We've lost connection.
That's the word.
I think we've lost connection. I think a lot of it comes down to we're so in tune into technology now that you've lost touch with people. Like, we're quick to message each other.
Yeah.
But when you read somebody else's message and you're reading it, there's a voice in your brain, and we don't think about it. And you're trying to hear how that person's saying it to you.
Aye.
So we mistranslate so much.
We used to call Jan Grenade.
Right.
You should send me the email first before you send it. I was like, you can't send that. That sounds because again,
you're hearing it.
Yeah.
I've sent emails out, and my wife's like, "You can't post that."
And
I'm like, "Why?" And I'm totally like, "Why?" Because she's reading it in a different tone, and a different voice, and a different whole meaning than what I'm putting out of my mouth.
And Jan, it wasn't that bad, by the way. It was just like in my mind, it's like.
Yeah.
And again, but we're all different.
But that's that human touch that you're talking about. We're losing track with that. Looking at people's eyes and speaking and having a conversation.
Yeah.
We're missing that. We're missing reaching out and shaking somebody's hand. I grew up learning that if you shake a man's hand, that's all you needed. And the world's not that way anymore.
No, I grew up like as well, very young, just shaking people's hands, girlfriends, dads, brothers, stuff like that. Because it's the connection, isn't it? It's like it's.
But it was an agreement. You could have an agreement with somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could have a literal agreement with somebody and shake hands on it and know that was enough. And now, you can't do that. The world's just different.
You're right, and that's weird you say that, because there was I had an agreement with a client who had bought one of our custom jackets.
Aye.
And then it was like, right, okay, let's do the deal. Boom. And then it was like, and then the questions came in, and I'm like, it's gone back the way. So I was like, maybe it's not for you. And that's it. It's like, you've missed the first bit, the human touch that we were talking at the beginning.
Aye.
It's like, fair enough, man. It's not. And I get the world's done that. And it's the reason why I asked that is because you're coming here today is clarifying that for me. Is like, people give their time up for me, and I am absolutely blessed to have folk come here and come on the show, because time is a thing that we can't get back.
And I feel exactly the same as you on Amir, because I'm like, wow, he wants to sit down and have a chat with me about life. And I was like, that's pretty cool. Same thing. We're in here on a Sunday afternoon having a chat with each other, to where normally I'm working. I sold out yesterday, so I'm not working today. So it all worked out the way it could work out. Aye.
The universe.
But I felt the same way. It's very humbling to be like, hey, come in, we want to talk to you. I'm like, okay. Who would have thought that? And
it's all about leaving the energy. Like people, I don't know if people, I can't assume talk for other people, but when I invite people in here, man, this used to be a massage place, and then it was an insurance company that was in this building, and then before that, in the 17th century, it was a library. Wow. So you are adding to the energy when you come in, and I get excited. And I said to you earlier about the whole why Imagination Station Network exists. It's like, I will absolutely be creating later, editing and creating, and you've helped that. You've gave that part of the wee journey of whatever it is I go on to do in the day. You have added to that, and that's what I want to show the world. I want to show by the form of creatives, doesn't matter what kind of creative you are. I mean, you get out your bed and you put a pair of socks on, you're a creative because somebody else out there can't put socks on. So you're created a way of putting them, and that sounds simple, but there is people out here who can't do what we do. But there's the ones out there who can do what we do. They've just not been found from behind the couch yet.
Aye.
That's all it is, man. It's about people giving their stories up and coming on the show and telling it. Like I say, I could go on all day because I get excited and see when it's somebody who's on the same path, and we are on the same path. I have had turmoils with the business at the beginning and stuff, and it's like, I like hearing that. That sounds like a sadist, but I like hearing that because that means that I too am on that same journey, and everything we talk about here and transmit to the people who listen and watch is genuinely 100% real.
Aye.
That's important for me because you can give somebody the wrong message, whereas when it's genuine, there's not once there. It isn't pre-recorded. We're not going to do another video on it. This is it. One time.
Aye.
Big ADHD circle to say the one thing I wanted to say. You only get one shot in this life, but once is enough if you do it right, and that's what you're doing.
And even if you don't think you're doing it right, just keep going.
Exactly. One
Just
day at a
keep
time.
going.
So on to my next thing. So this telephone here, if this phone was to, if you were to be able to phone Andy, who would you phone and why? You can lift it up. Tell you a story about that phone actually before you go later.
If I were to phone anybody,
If you could make a phone call to anybody living or gone, and what would you say to them?
that's a tough one, man.
Everybody says that when I hand
That's a
the
really
phone.
tough one. That's nostalgic right there too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Mr. Robinson, sir. Yes, sir. I'm still going, boss man, and I'm not going to stop. Thank you very much, sir. I will. And I'll see you when I get there. Thank you.
Brilliant.
And nobody will know what that is but
No,
me.
that's fine.
Nobody will know what that is. That's amazing that you just gave me that thought, though, man.
A wee phone call.
You just gave me a thought into my past that you couldn't even imagine
Yeah.
right now. That's amazing that you do that.
And see that phone? So I painted a guitar for Paolo Donatini. Instead, I don't like waste. So instead, I sought that phone out for said charity shop. And I went in and I took it straight home. And just before, when I finished the last touches, because it was a Jackson Pollock theme, and I made the phone and kept it.
That's pretty amazing,
So
man.
now I'm putting it to use. Aye.
Kids today won't even know what that is, man.
Nah,
They
they
won't
don't.
have a clue. They'd be like, what's this thing?
Yeah, it's funny though because it's like I remember them.
Aye.
It's like, but like even mobile phones do everything. We are living in a privileged world because mobile phones do everything that we never did.
Kids today, and I mean this,
Mm-hmm.
first off, there's too much technology at hand for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they'll never understand what it is to be bored, honestly.
To meet you at the phone box. That was a good one. Meet you at the phone box at 10:00.
I tell you a story about that, right? When my wife was at university, we had met over a summer in Michigan. She had to go back and do her last year at uni in Edinburgh. And I was on the road with that gentleman I just phoned, working, and I had to buy phone cards.
Wow,
That's how old this
I
is.
remember.
I had to buy phone cards, international phone cards, and I had to go to a Hispanic part of town to get the proper best deal on a phone card because they were calling home to Mexico. So they had the best phone cards, and I could phone the UK. So my wife would go down to a phone box in Edinburgh and wait, and I would phone that
Wow.
phone box off a calling card in America out of a hotel. Isn't that crazy?
That is, man. And again, kids will not know that.
That was only
Kids
20
will
years
know
ago.
that, man.
That was only like 20 years ago.
Wow.
Man. It's not that long ago, really. It's it's mind-boggling how
The
things have
advancement,
changed. Yeah.
it's been so quick.
So quick.
Don't get me wrong, there's parts of our business that I'm coming round to it being helping as such, but because I'm now becoming that old school person who's like,
Aye.
no, I don't think, let me do it. Just leave it with me and I'll sort it, and then tail between my legs. I'm like, oh, maybe we should use that on the computer because I've made a mess of it. But I'm humble enough to know when I've made a mistake. But listen, man, I could talk to you all day.
Right.
There's one last thing. I normally don't get every day too, but let's read a wee bit. Pick a page out of Nobody's Really Got Their Shit Together book.
Nobody really has their shit together.
Aye. If anybody who's listening on Spotify, this is our wee book that somebody bought me.
So I'm literally just going to open this up.
That's what I do.
Right?
What does it say?
Say left or right.
Let's go right.
You're doing great. You're going well. Even when you're not, because this fucking world is hard as shit.
Yeah.
And just being is a lot. So just keep on being you. Or as I like to say, a lot of people pick on me. I take this from Joe Dirt. Keep on keeping on.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep on keeping on. Because if you stop, you're going to be stagnant.
Yep.
And if you keep on keeping on, you'll work through anything that's bad in your life and you'll just push on through it. It will pass. It will pass.
Well, this too shall pass. Always
right.
a saying, man, that I remember. This too shall pass. Well, thanks very much, man, JP. It's been good having you here. We're welcome. I'm going to speak to the team. You will see us. We'll do another wee bit, and we'll come and we'll try these tasty burgers. But I'm all about the chicken legs. Like I'm a mad chicken fiend. But listen, thanks very much for your time. It is important I say that because time is, we can't get it back, like I said. So, but definitely, man, you're on a path of greatness, and I'm blessed to have people like you on our show. And guys, remember, if you've not heard your creative journey yet to get you out from behind that couch, hang about. We're not finished yet. We're just getting started. You can find JP at JP American Smokehouse.
JP's American Smokehouse on Facebook. I post the menu in the morning about 9 a.m. and they can message me and reserve before noon.
Oh, nice.
After noon, I cannot take reservations because I can't keep up. I do everything on my own. I don't work with a team. It's just myself. So, but I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and all that. But I do all my advertising on Facebook.
Brilliant, guys. And remember, I always just say this is a suggestion. We all share this planet, but if there's somebody out there who you've no text in a while, just with this phone call, it's triggered a wee bit in my brain. If there's somebody you've no messaged, if there's somebody who you really want to speak to, remember, we only get one shot at this life, so we do it properly. Humble ourselves, and once is enough. So, and if you can't do that, just take 10 minutes for yourself. Again, just a suggestion. But thanks very much for watching, and you can like and subscribe and all the boxy bits. But that's it, and thank you very much for your time.
James,
JP,
thanks a lot for having me, man. It's been a pleasure.
It's been great, man, and it's definitely opened my eyes for a few things, and we'll talk off the camera. But guys, listen, just keep being you.
Keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on. That's it.